Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Coach's Kage program on 3kgthekage.com. Bob Kurtz and Bill Kay and Scotty Miller are running things on the board tonight. Hope you're enjoying your Wednesday evening. A beautiful day today, and we're kind of transitioning. Still got one coach, football coach, to talk to, but we're moving into our girls basketball preseason show tonight, and most of the coaches, not all of them around the area, will be here. And what better way to kick off than Brian Heimlich?
Boy, what a year. What a year, Brian. I'd like to just a real quick look back before we
refreshing our memories, are you?
Yeah. 20-7. Went all the way to the semi-state, rolled to that sectional championship. Same on the regional too, but got off to a three consecutive wins to start the season. Won 12 of your first 13 games with that team. And just talk about that, the importance of a good start to a girls program.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing last year is we were an older team. I mean, veteran team. I mean, the girls that were coming back. I mean, we just had a lot of girls.
What did you say, 5 seniors?
We had six seniors total. The one was injured, prior to the season. But we had an older group that had been playing a lot of basketball together, and they just knew what we wanted to do, both defensively, offensively, and went out there and executed. We ran it early. We ran into some injuries, but then we got going, and I think it allowed some of our the kids that were role players to get some significant minutes earlier, and so that helped us in the postseason. Those girls then came in at key times off the bench and did some big things for us. So it was a very fun season. You don't get to have those seasons very often. It was definitely an enjoyable season, and it was just fun to go through.
Mixture of talent, experience, a lot of good things on that team, weren't there?
Yeah, there was. I mean, we had ball handlers, plenty of ball handlers. We had shooters.
Defense.
Athletically, we had plenty of kids that could play multiple positions defensively, which allowed us to do a lot of different things defensively. I mean, we could, you could play man zone. You could switch in your man, and we were very versatile defensively, and it allowed us to do that, and and change from opponent to opponent to do those things and be able to match up with our opponents. So.
The one hiccup in the season was right in the kind of middle of the season where you ended up losing 5 in a row. And I looked back, and that all started with that tournament that you play, which is really tough. In fact, you're in it again this year.
Yeah.
And I ran off who some of your opponents are. You start out with Rochester, Crown Point's in there, KV, Twin Lakes. That Twin Lakes tournament, that's
big schools.
It always has been a tough tournament. I mean, we wanted to get into that just to to play that competition, but it's also local for us. I mean, our fans can come and watch us over the holidays, and so that was something that was kind of important. But it definitely is some great competition. You're going into it. I mean, we're the only single A school in it, but I think it prepares you, for the postseason. And so I think that's good for our girls. The big thing is you don't want to, I think the one year we did play Crown Point, we got beat pretty good. You just tell them. I mean, it's all about learning right now, and
sure,
just move on. You can't dwell on it, and you just go to the next one. So it is a great turning to be in.
And then you righted the ship and rolled off with 8 straight wins, including wins over South Newton and Caston to win the sectional, wins over Couts and Argus to win the regional, and then
stops. I mean, that's what it's all about. So,
tell us about this year's team then.
So so this year we have 3 players returning that got significant minutes last year. Two that started for us and have played all 4. Been a varsity player for all 4 years. Abigail Spry and Tessa Robertson have been mainstays for us since their freshman year, and they're ones we're gonna have to rely on offensively this year. And they've Tessa's been our inside force and been a tremendous player for us. Both of them averaging about 10 points a game since their freshman year.
Are you going to expect them to
they're gonna
get a little higher?
They're gonna have to get higher. I mean, part of that is we've been so balanced the last few years that anybody could score, and I don't think we're going to be as balanced. And so yes, they're going to have to probably score a little more for us. Abigail's running the point a lot more for us this year. She was able to run the off guard the last couple years with Hannah Kage being there, but she's going to have to run the point for us this year. And so, those two are going to have to be our leaders on the floor because they played the most minutes for us. And then Callie Hunt, another senior, was able to play a lot of minutes for us last year as a junior and had some key moments. I mean, she came in and as a more of a role player last year. We needed her to play, get some good stops and defensively, just get some key rebounds. She wasn't expected to score, but she did that for us last year. And this year, she's going to have to score more for us on the offensive end, just be a little more aggressive offensively. And then, she's probably one of our best defensive players, and she was last year as well. So she'll be leading our defense, and she's got some size, and I think she'll step into that role and do a great job at it. And then our other senior, Katie Stevens, played. She was playing behind a lot of older kids last year. Played JV, and then practiced against the varsity. I mean, she was with us most of the time last year, but she's going to have to step up, and she can really, when she's open, she can knock shots down. She's not a real big girl. Size-wise, but she can really knock shots down when she has them. Defensively, she'll be able to play up top for us, and so we're going to rely on those four seniors because after that we don't have a junior at all playing this year, which that can hurt you. Obviously, come into a season you don't get any girl coming out in a class like that, it's going to hurt you, and which means now you're relying on your role players coming up are freshmen and sophomores, and so they haven't got those minutes. They're not used to that varsity speed that comes at them, and so these first couple weeks of practice we're throwing things at them, and a lot of teaching's going on, a lot of learning, and it's coming at them at a fast speed. And so I just keep trying to be patient with them and just keep telling them, hey, it's a faster game. Just the learning process, and they're going to realize it when we start on Saturday in our first game how physical at this level it is. But we've got a couple of sophomores that I think are going to be able to see some time early. Morgan Carter is a guard, and she can really shoot the basketball. It's just her being able to be physical out there is going to be the big thing for us. But when she's open, she can shoot it, and she's aggressive offensively. She's just got to learn to be more physical with the basketball, and then on the defensive end, same thing. Just being physical, because that's probably her biggest thing right now, and I think she'll get there eventually. And then our other sophomore would be Kaylin Applegate, who she played mainly JV last year as well. I mean, but she's a very athletic girl. Offensively is probably where she needs the most work, but defensively we feel like she's going to help us. She's very athletic and does what we want. She's a very fast learner. She's very coachable, and I think she'll be able to do some big things for us, and she'll get there offensively. And then we have a couple freshmen as well. Carly Spry, who is Abigail's younger sister. She's another one. She's a strong girl. It's just catching up to that varsity, knowing what we want to do and things like that. There's a lot we're throwing at them, but I think offensively she'll be able to help us. And then Autumn Rife is another one. She's about 5'9", 5'10", very athletic girl. I don't know if you guys happen to catch any volleyball games, but she was always at the net. But she's an athlete. She's one of those, kind of we talk about. She kind of reminds us of Kate Kahn last year, who for us, they just go after it. Kind of has a knack for where the ball's going. But she's got a lot to learn as far as basketball, offensively and defensively, where to go. You can't in junior high, you kind of get away with a lot of things as an athlete that you don't when you get to that varsity level. And so she's still learning those things. And that's, I think, early in the year. I think we'll struggle with some of that, but the end goal is still postseason. So you get those 22 practice games to get there, and that's what our goal is. Just from day one, just to get better every day. Improve from the next day, and I think the girls have done that, and now we'll get to see Saturday. Just put it into game action and go back and learn from that and just keep going from there.
At North Miami, is there any way you can scout for a season opener?
Well, they did play late in the year. They've got some. They return a lot more than we do. They actually played CC in the regional championship game last year, and they returned quite a bit. And they always are a physical team. But I know they have three starters returning off that team that scored quite a bit, and then they do play South Newton Friday night before we play them on Saturday, so may get a chance to see them a little bit, Friday. But the coach has been there a while. I've coached against her. I mean, we kind of have an idea what they're going to do, and like I said, they have some returners, but they play a very physical style. Always have, and so that's going to be probably my biggest fear is we're not ready for that physicality yet. But we'll go over there and see what happens. They're a solid team, and then we go. We get to week to practice, and then it's Caston the next week over at Caston, and they return about everybody back from last year's sectional final game that we played against them, and they're going to be very solid as well. And so our first 2 or 3 games are really tough teams to open with, but that's how it goes. I mean, it just prepares you for later on. So.
All this work pointing towards the Tri-County sectional is the same field as last year.
For the most part, yes. Caston's still in there. Tri-County, Frontier, South Newton. I believe West Central comes in this year, who was not in it last year. But
okay.
Because last year we just had the 5 team with Pioneer moving up to 2A, so
okay.
West Central came in and filled that spot. Yeah.
Why don't you talk about the Midwest Conference? What do you think so far here?
Yeah, I mean it's. I think it's open this year, very open. Tri-County's got a very good young team, and I thought the second half of the year they really came on last year and were playing well, so they're going to be contending. And then we get Covenant Christian and Faith Christian joining the conference as well, and both those teams got some young girls that are playing very well. I know we played Covenant late in the year, and they had a couple freshmen that were really good, and I think a girl this year will be a senior, a very athletic girl. Faith has a couple freshman guards that are going to really, when you see them play, they're legit. They're really quick and can shoot the ball and handle it. West Central's. I think Tyson's just got them playing better every year. They play hard, and they keep getting better every year. They're starting to their junior high classes are they got some talent down there too. And then Frontier, I know they lost some girls off last year's team, but I think they have some younger girls as well coming in. Got to see them a little bit in our jamboree that we played, and then South Newton as well. We played them. I know they lost some seniors off that team. They were struggling a little bit numbers-wise. I think they still were missing a couple volleyball players when we saw them the other night. But I think it's about as open. North Newton lost some seniors like we did too last year. So there's a lot. We'll just have to kind of see how it all rolls and plays out. So I think it's about as open as it's been in the last few years. But it's nice to have 8 teams in it, though.
Absolutely,
rather than 6.
yeah.
I mean, you just
No
get
kidding.
more competition in there.
Are the girls anxious?
I think they are. I think they're ready to just go play a game and see what happens,
Sure.
and then as coaches we like to get back and have that practice time then too. So, but yeah, I think the girls are ready to play a game. We've been practicing for a couple weeks now, and I think sometimes that you're just ready to play a game and see what happens. So, yeah, I think they're ready to go. So.
Now, A lot of teams don't have. You have a JV team this year, then?
We do have a JV team. We have 14 out, and we're going to be able to play a full JV schedule right now, barring multiple injuries or sicknesses,
So
things like that.
8 on the varsity or so, and then the other 6?
Yeah, I mean, we'll play. You play 5 quarters a night, so we'll, especially since we don't have those juniors, those freshmen and sophomores. I want to max out quarters as much as we can, get them much playing time as you can, and you don't want to bring people up and put them on the varsity and not play them hardly at all, and then they don't play in the JV as well. So my goal has always been, if they're freshmen, they need to be playing at least 4 quarters. Whether that's 2 JV, 2 varsity, or 3 and 2. I mean, 1, whatever. I want to max out as much time as you can.
Unfortunately, you got 3 Midwest Conference schools that don't have JV teams,
right?
So,
and that kind of hurts, but yeah, the goal is to play those freshmen and sophomores as many quarters as we can when we have the opportunity, so they get that playing time on the court. So.
All right, Brian, we look forward to working with you every week this season, and whenever you have away games, that we have a few North White games on the schedule that are away from North White. So
I think our first North White.
Probably Rensselaer, right?
I think so, Bob. End of November. Yep. November 29th?
Tri-County.
That's Tri-County.
I think
that's
our
Tri-County.
Rensselaer game got moved. I think it's after the first of the year this year. It used to be early, but I think we play them.
Oh, yeah, January.
First of the year.
That's a doubleheader. No.
I don't know if you have them.
Probably don't have them on there then.
Okay.
But it got moved.
Good luck anyway, and we'll talk to you every week, all right?
All right, thank you.
Thanks Coach.
Again.
Brian Heimlich from the North White Lady Vikings. Back with more of the Coach's Cage right after this.
High-quality, personalized dental service is what they do at Hillcrest Dental. For over 40 years, generations have relied on Hillcrest Dental for beautiful, healthy smiles. Dr. John Ayler and Dr. Jack Drone look forward to seeing you for your next dental visit. For information or to set your appointment, call 219-866-7117. That's 219-866-7117. Or visit hillcrestdental.net. Hillcrest Dental is a proud sponsor of all high school athletics.
Meet you at Arnie's, Rensselaer's go-to pizza and so much more. Pizza, sandwiches, burgers are here. Don't forget about dessert. Wings, cheese sticks, garlic bread too. Arnie's pizza menu has something for everyone. Dine in or carry out in the best pizza in town. Located across from St. Joseph's College in Rensselaer. Call 219-866-9999 and meet you at Arnie's.
Founded in 1931, Community State Bank in Brook is your community bank. We specialize in relationship banking while offering the technology required to meet your modern banking needs. Community State Bank is the area leader in new construction loans and home mortgages. Our lenders know small business and have products to meet your farm and business needs. We're available to get to know you and your needs today at 224 West Main in Brook or by calling 219-275-2441.
Pulver Psychological Services offers psychological counseling, consultation, and assessment. Locally owned and operated, Pulver Psych focuses on solutions for the community and serves as support for individuals, families, and organizations. Whether you're in need of personal, family, or success counseling, Pulver Psychological Services can help you reach your life goals. Increase work satisfaction, have better relationship compatibility, improve
your quarterback Connor Malott with an average of 6 points per carry. Jacob Pilarski was a heck of a runner, your fullback. He averaged 5.2 per carry, and Aiden White, the speedster back there, averaged 9.5 per carry. My gosh, you guys had a pretty.
You got to make some first downs and that kind of rushing yards.
And Spencer on top of that, I think his is close to 9 per carry too.
Per carry, wow, it was just incredible. You got good receivers. That White was a good receiver for you with 39 catches. Spencer Lehman, we just talked about, had 27 receptions. Chase Mitchell was on the board. You just had a lot of guys in those statistic total touchdowns. Aiden White with 13, Spencer Lehman with 11, Jacob Pilarski with 9. That's a pretty darn good year.
I mean, the positive here is we've had a lot of guys contribute. It hasn't just been one guy or two guys. It's been 4 or 5 guys that they're doing things and getting the job done for us. That's been the huge positive that we've had this year, and it's made us successful that we've had that many guys that have stepped up. And you try to key in on one of them, then you got the other ones that hopefully will pick up the slack and have good nights for us.
I suppose the season started with luckily Connor Marlette with the good health as opposed to the freak accident last year in game number 1 where he got hurt and was out for the whole season. Having him come back, he threw for over 1,000 yards.
Yeah.
1,018 yards.
It is a little deceiving
because you have the little
we have our little
pooch pass,
shovel pass there. But yes,
they all count.
That ball, it does count. Yes.
83 for 114. Wow.
Yeah,
that's
it's
a 73 percentage.
Yeah, we run that. We like that jet play a lot. That allows us to get that little 6-inch pass in there and then take it off and go the rest of the way.
Get your completion and yardage.
Yeah.
Yardage.
12.3 average on those catches. So just a heck of a season by him. And then we talked about the rushing guys, just incredible. You had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys over 200, nearly 250 yards.
Yeah. And if you look at we don't have any just one guy that is. The stats look amazing. It's just we've got those 5 guys that they're all solid.
How do you get the ball to everyone?
We with our option, when we call our triple option play, there's any one of the 3 could get it. You don't know. We don't know. It just depends on what the defense does. We have an idea going into the week on how they're going to play it, but still, if the person doesn't come down and stop the fullback, then the fullback's going to get the ball. If he does, then the quarterback's going to take it, and if no one stops him, then he just takes it. But if someone comes to stop him, then we got the pitch guy. So we've got 3 phases there that they have to defend.
Triple option.
And then off of that, our counterplay has been really good this year. So when we get our triple option going, that we run counter off of that, and that's where Aiden and Spencer have made a lot of yards. Is we give them the counter back underneath that, and they go the other way. And those other teams, they have to play the triple option, because if they don't, then that's going to kill them. So it has been very successful this year that we've been able to add in that counter play to make everything run a little bit better.
Connor Marlott led you in rushing with 628 yards from his quarterback slot. Your fullback, Jacob Pilarski, with 594, 388 yards from Aiden White. Boy, just down the list. Spencer Lehman with 373. Jeez, oh, Pete's. Your receptions, we talked about that. Your all-purpose yard, you're just off the charts, and then typical of a 10-win season. I bet.
You're gonna have some guys that look good up there.
Why don't you take us through last week's game?
Yeah, last week we had some sickness going through the team, so we had a couple guys that didn't dress and weren't even there for the game because they had been sick throughout the week, and then we also had a couple guys that came back Thursday from sickness. So we were a little under the weather as we went into the game, but our guys played hard. First quarter, Spencer Lehman scored our first score of the night. He also scored our second score of the night in the second quarter. So we're up 16-0 into that second quarter. Our third score, one of the things we started to do last week in Caston during round 1 of sectionals is we had struggled a little bit with our 2-point conversion, so we put Buzz back there and let him run the ball on 2-point conversions.
He was pretty successful, wasn't
he? We gave him to him twice against Caston, and he scored both times. So we did that again on last Friday. The first 2 scores, he goes in there for 2-point conversions and gets them in there. So we get to a third or fourth and short there going in for our third score. So we decided to let Buzz have a chance at a touchdown, and he gets in there, and so now we're up 24-0 after the 2-point conversion is successful. And then Connor Millat added a third touchdown in that that second quarter to make it 32-0 at halftime. So our guys were playing really well. Defensively, I think we only gave up 1 first down in the first half. We only gave up 3 or 4 for the entire game. So our defense was locked in, played really well. Did a really nice job just limiting what they could do. They didn't complete very many passes. They scrambled a little bit on a couple plays in the second half, but our guys just did a really nice job of containing what Taylor was trying to do for the most part. Third quarter, we had a couple opportunities offensively that we kind of wasted and didn't finish drives on. So we didn't add any points there in the third quarter. But fourth quarter, we were able to get another score in there, so that is what made it 40-0. That got the clock running, and then we were able to get all the younger guys in there and have sectional experience. So that was positive there that everyone got in for the night, and we came out of there and we were fairly healthy. We did have one guy get banged up on a carry, his first carry of the night, and hopefully he's going to be able to get back for us this week, but we'll have to see.
How many other games this year were played under the so-called mercy rule where you get up 35, there's a running clock in the second half?
Looks
Count 'em
about
up.
like 6 of them there. The Lake Station, Tri-County, North Newton, South Newton. No, South Newton was just under it, wasn't it? Yeah, so the Lake Station, Tri-County, North Newton, Frontier, and Taylor game. So about 5 of them. So it's pretty good.
Those
pretty
stats
good.
might have been
Yeah.
even
Well,
bigger if it wasn't for that.
Yeah, it's nice to not be on the other side of that. 'Cause we've had that before, and that's not as much fun. But again, this year our guys just played really well. Really happy with everything they've done. Proud of them, and I just hope we can keep it going for a few more weeks.
And of
All right.
course, on top of the Midwest Conference, you guys have checked off quite a few of your goals, haven't
Yeah,
you?
last October, and it's been over a year now. We actually talked about that this week, that it was a year since we had set those goals, and we've gone through and we've checked off. There were, 4 things I believe we put down, and we checked them all off. So we've done a great. They met everything they wanted to do. Now it's just this is extra.
Let's talk about sectional championship at Carroll. Carroll's only lost 1. Tell us what you know about them.
Yeah, they're a good football team. If you look at who they play, they played some similar opponents as we have. They played Tri-County the first week of the year. They also played North White in the first round of sectional. So then Taylor is in their conference. So we've played 3 common opponents, and scores have been fairly similar. So hopefully we're able to go over there and just focus in and do the things we are capable of.
What do they do well?
They run the ball very well. They've got a really good fullback. They run formation-wise very similar to what we do. But as far as what they're trying to do out of it, it's not what we do. There's not option, but they're in the same type of formations as we are. So it's they got a really good fullback that they're going to hit you with dives and power plays with him, some tosses, and then all of a sudden they're going to do some counters with their wings. So those are things we've got to be prepared for. They've got some fast wings. The fullback, I think, is right around 6 foot, 190 pounds. He's a big guy. We're going to make sure we tackle him low and hopefully stay underneath some of the things they're trying to do and do the things we're capable of. I think offensively, if we take care of the football and make sure we're staying on our blocks, I think we can move the ball on them. And it's going to have to come down to, as we've talked about before, we got to take care of the football, we got to block, and we got to tackle. If we can do those things, I mean,
I've never heard you say that before.
I know. But if we can do those 3 things, it always gives you a good chance in a football game. So, I mean, that's all you can hope for is you give yourself an opportunity. And so far, every game we've given ourselves an opportunity to be in it, and we've gotten ourselves this far. So hopefully we can keep that for another week and then go from there.
Well, go get them, and wish you nothing but the best luck, and we'll talk about it next Wednesday, okay?
All right, sounds good.
Good luck, Coach.
Mark Hall from the West Central Trojans football team. Back with more of the girls basketball preview show on 3kgthecage.com right after this.
Hi, this is Chuck Clark with the Underwood Insurance Agency, formerly Preferred Insurance Group. Are you tired of being sacked every month with your auto insurance bill? Do you feel you just pay your premium to your agent and never hear from them? We at the Underwood Insurance Agency work with over 10 insurance carriers to get you our best rate and coverage we can, and we pride ourselves on serving our customers like they are our family. We are conveniently located in Remington and Lafayette. We can be reached at underwoodagency.com. Reach out to us to score big savings.
Working with our customers has been Kentland Bank's trademark for 87 years. We're dedicated to making your visit a lasting one, and helping you achieve your goals is our #1 priority. With 5 locations, Kentland Bank offers all loans needed for today's businesses and families, including car loans, mortgages, agriculture, and commercial loans. We're here to make your busy life less hectic by offering online and mobile banking, bill pay, and P2P payments. Member FDIC and equal housing lender. After a hard day's work or play, it's time for some relaxation, and there's no better place than Unwind on Front Street in Rensselaer. For massage therapy, facials, spray tanning, yoga classes, and wellness, stop by Unwind. They also offer student athletes 30-minute massages for $25. Alina would like to thank Unwind's loyal customers for their patronage since 2016. To make an appointment, call Unwind at 219-869-0290.
In agriculture, preparation is important. Dedication is you deciding what to plant and then asking what it will take for a good crop. How much work will it take to produce the final crop? In sports, preparation is vital in becoming the best you can be. Dedication is a will of achievements for a winning desire. Corbett Farms encourages everyone to do their best by having a winning spirit, attitude, and achievement. Your positivity will make a difference. Corbett Farms is proud to sponsor high school sports.
Founded in 1931, Community State Bank in Brook is your community bank. We specialize in relationship banking while offering the technology required to meet your
Call at 219-866-8626 for your next graphic design project.
Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance Agent Joe Goodeman has been serving the Jasper County and surrounding area since 2009. Being involved in the area, Joe Goodeman has kept his interest in making sure he provides the best insurance for his clients. Whether you need life, car, home, business, farm and crops, or even renter's insurance, Agent Joe Goodeman will keep searching for the best policy for your valued investments. Call Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance Agent Joe Goodeman at 219-866-4694 or stop in at 2570 North McKinley Avenue in Rensselaer.
High-quality personalized dental service is what do at Hillcrest Dental. For over 40 years, generations have relied on Hillcrest Dental for beautiful, healthy smiles. Dr. John Ayler and Dr. Jack Drone look forward to seeing you for your next dental visit. For information or to set your appointment, call 219-866-7117. That's 219-866-7117 or visit hillcrestdental.net. Hillcrest Dental is a proud sponsor of all high school athletics.
Working with our customers has been Kentland Bank's trademark for 87 years. We're dedicated to making your visit a lasting one, and helping you achieve your goals is our #1 priority. With 5 locations, Kentland Bank offers all loans needed for today's businesses and families, including car loans, mortgages, agriculture, and commercial loans. We're here to make your busy life less hectic by offering online and mobile banking, bill pay, and P2P payments. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Welcome back to the Coach's Cage Show on 3kgthecage.com. Check us out on our website or on Facebook. We're there, and we have the archives also on our YouTube page. You just go to our website and click on archives. It'll send you to Coach's shows and games. We have them all stacked up that we've done. And we're always pleased to welcome a new face to the area. And a new coach this year for the North Newton girls team is Chris York.
Yeah,
Chris,
what an interesting background we just.
Yeah, we're gonna hear about this. So, Chris, welcome to the area, and thanks for coming over. Really do appreciate it.
That's great to be here. I've known about this show for years, and even back when you were at Hardee's downtown. So,
wow,
I remember.
You are really going back.
Yeah,
man.
Tell us a little bit about yourself before we start talking about North Newton basketball.
Okay, well, I've born and raised in Cedar Lake. I went to Hanover, graduated in '90. I currently teach there. I've been there. This is my 29th year. Graduated from St. Joe's across the street. Ran cross country and track there. Participated in cross country, basketball, track.
So you're with Mossels?
I was with Mossels.
Oh man,
he's now at Milwaukee School of Engineering and just won their conference title this past weekend.
Always a good guy.
Yes, absolutely. Basketball-wise, I was the girls varsity coach at Hanover Central from 02 to 06. Then didn't coach girls for about 10 years, and my old AD Dave Siles was at Wheeler, and I went and I was an assistant for him in 16, assisted at Hanover in 17, interim coach at Wheeler in 18, applied for jobs in 2019 that I didn't get but wound up getting later, which we'll talk about, I guess. And then I was at Calumet for 2 years, for 2021, 2021 and 21-22, and that last year. And now I'm at North Newton.
So how'd you get here?
How did I get here?
How'd you get to North Newton?
It was one of the jobs I applied for back in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
I was a finalist, and then went for the boys' job and didn't get that one either. But after a year off and scouting some things, I just left Calumet recently. Numbers were really low and everything. It wasn't because of our season, but you go through an over season, and that's really tough to do.
Sure.
And the North Newton job was open. It's about the same distance. It's familiar. It's not in the same conference as the school that I teach and coach at, so that was another aspect of things. But it's a place. Certain towns, Rensselaer, North Newton, Hebron, Couts, Boone, you have a lot of the same families that stick around, so there's a lot of familiarity. So that interested me, and I'm coaching a girl right now that my brother played against, a guy that I coached against back when I was coaching boys in the 90s. And, it's just the family aspect of things, staying fairly close to home. There's still a drive every day. It's 25 minutes, but, I want to coach. It was a job that was open, and I'm glad to be there. I'm having a good time so far, just learning people.
It's interesting how a lot of those names kind of creep back up, whether it's Southern Lake County or Jasper Newton County.
Mm-hmm.
You're so right about the families are here. Names that are just kind of they go with the schools.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of kids and stuff. You're inheriting a team. Jenny Spillers was their coach last year, even up 10-10 on the season. So they had some good highlights and obviously some lowlights, but 2A, you're in the sectional at Andrean. That's not going to be easy for any stretch of the imagination. And your season starts tomorrow with Kankakee Valley coming in.
What's it like? Do you know all your players, and do they know you and you know them yet, or is that going to be a process?
It's absolutely a process. I got the job in June. Probably the middle of June was the board meeting, and then there's the process of how do I get a hold of people, how do I get a hold of kids that I don't teach, I'm not in the building with, so getting that contact information. And then summertime down here is chock full of fair events and everything else.
Right.
So, we didn't really have much of a summer, but in the time that I've spent with them, we are learning each other quite a bit. Learning what I'm looking for, learning things that are different than what they've done in the past. It's going to be a process. I told we didn't look so great on Thursday night. We were at a jamboree. We played Tri-County, who's very good. And we played DeMott Christian, who's also going to be very good. And they were without two of their starters. The one girl, Gabby, had just run the semi-state meet, so she didn't have the practices in. But we didn't look so great. But there's only so much that we can know in the time that we've had so far. So trying to implement offense and press breakers and knowing who's the person that's going to handle the ball, all these kinds of things. I told the girls that no matter what we look like here at the beginning, we're going to be a completely different team when it matters, in January. But I think we're learning each other really well. We had a potluck parent meeting, so everybody got to meet each other. The parents got to meet me because they wouldn't know me from Adam. And I think everything is going really well. Everybody seems to be buying in. Really good attitudes. Parents appreciate what's going on. So I think, it's looking really good. But yeah, we've got a rough start to this season. First 7 games against some really, really top-notch teams. And, in looking at last year's season, they had a bunch of seniors. They had a bunch of players that scored over 130 points this season. We do return the leading scorer, but there was a lot of senior leadership on that team, and now we have 2 seniors back. And one didn't play last year and is back, and the other one didn't play a lot as a junior. So, just finding who the leaders are going to be, and you can kind of see that right now. You can hear which people are kind of trying to be the vocal leaders. But it's definitely going to be a process. But I was very impressed by some of the games that they played last year. I mean, they had a very close game against, I think, a pretty good Lake Station team. And there were a couple others. So, I hope to have some games like that where people have us circled maybe on the schedule because they say, look at what they lost. And, maybe when they come out of that game, they know that they played one. So that's kind of where the mentality is going to be as we go through the season. It's going to be bumpy at the beginning, but the big thing is going to be how are my girls going to react to that? We talked about it today that, when things are going bad, it's going to be on camera, whether you're going into some kind of deep depths of whatever, and you just got to keep your heads up and play the next play, and it's all going to get better as we learn things, as we learn what we're supposed to do. So,
how are the numbers, and tell us about some of your key players?
Well, the numbers aren't so great. Not being in the school is a detriment as far as I can't go through the hallways and I can't, go to gym class and say, hey, you look like you can play. And, softball's a really big deal at North Newton. I mean, they were a game away from being in the state finals, from what I understand. And softball's a big deal. So there are some kids that focus on that. There's a player that we could have this year that played decent minutes last year and didn't come out because they got injured last year. And I understand that. I mean, you have to know where your bread's buttered sometimes. I mean, you try to have multi-sport athletes, but there are some that focus on the one thing, and it winds up paying off later on. I mean, I had one of those in track. But the numbers aren't great. We have 13. We have we had 2 managers that are now going to play. Which gives us 13, and we thought we had 3 or 4 others, and then they decided that they weren't going to play. So it looked like we were going to have a pretty solid varsity JV split. Now with 13, I would hope to play at least JV quarters, because we've got some people that just quite honestly aren't ready for varsity. And
right.
There's, when I was at Calumet, we had probably 3 girls that, weren't top of the line JV material, let alone varsity material to go out with, 5 girls that were seniors, and 3 of those girls played college ball. So when you mix in kids that really don't belong in the same drills sometimes, right, how do you keep the right speed when you're trying to chuck passes to each other and you're going to hurt somebody? So, our numbers aren't great, but we do have people that seem like we're really going to be able to piece something together. We've got the 2 seniors, Madeline Aaronholtz, who played varsity last year. She can be a ball handler and things, but I don't know that she got a ton of playing time based on what the stats were on Max Preps. And then Lexi Cunningham's back, and she's got some size to her, some strength to her. She's been sick now for a couple weeks. They're trying to shake that a little bit. But I was glad that she came back. So those are the 2 seniors. Leading scorer from the team coming back, McKenna Schleman, and she, I think she scored 185 points, and she's going to be something to deal with. I mean, she's 6'1.5". She's a really big girl. We've got Cheyenne Cahill, who's also a junior, and now without my roster in front of me, I'm gonna freeze. But we've got I think it's 3 juniors, and now I'm gonna wind up getting in trouble at practice tomorrow. Ava hasn't played before. Ava Ivy. And we also have some sophomores that got some time last year. Taylor Matul and June Busboom, and I'm not sure if Juliana Galvin got any time last year. But, I was shocked to hear that at North Newton, we have 30 girls in the entire junior class. I thought the school was bigger than that. So I mean, I guess it shows what I know. But yeah, numbers are going to be an issue. Once we get the ball rolling here, it'll be time to have some kind of a call out for younger kids. Have the kids from the 3 elementary schools come and have a little clinic, maybe Thanksgiving break, maybe Christmas break as well, just to get some numbers. I mean, but you guys have seen it already. You've heard it where numbers are low everywhere.
Right.
Yeah.
And at first,
especially on the Midwest Conference,
just because I started to, one of the Tom Izzo things is that, most pressing teams aren't great defensive teams because, if they don't get it here, if you can get them in the half court, they're not always a very good defensive team. Plus, I don't know if we're fast enough to do it, and I don't know that we can keep out of foul trouble enough to do it. So I'm not a pressing team. And having the numbers I had at Calumet the last 2 years, 10 and 9, we couldn't press because we just didn't have the horses for the race. So,
expectations for this year?
Expectations. The one time my very first year of coaching, I tried to put a total on wins. It completely blew up in my face. But
you don't do that anymore.
No, I do not. I mean, I will do it myself. I will look at the schedule, but I won't verbalize it. I want improvement. I mean, I want improvement in the girls. I want improvement as a team. I want improvement as far as kind of maybe a swagger again. I mean, when I coached in 02 to 06, I looked at our old records, or I looked at North Newton, and every time we played them, we got beat by 30 because they had Christensen and Koselke, and they were great teams. Them and North Judson were great teams.
Right.
And I'd love to get back to something like that, where basketball is a thing again at North Newton, and not just something people do to pass that season. Bring the numbers up again. That's what I'd like. I'd like to see little kids coming with some blue and orange and watching the games and saying, I want to do that someday. I think that it can be there again. It's been kind of dormant for a bit. So,
you got some excitement going on in Hanover Central this weekend.
Yes.
Tomorrow there's a football game that kind of might pique some people's interest.
The number one team in the state coming to visit Hanover Central, yes.
10-0 versus 10-0.
10-0 versus 10-0, number 1 versus number 4, and I really would like to be at that game, but my son's going to be playing hockey in Fort Wayne, so I think I'm going to be going there and watching that. So, but yeah, I talked to Coach Parker a little bit last night, and they're looking forward to it for sure. They've got this. They've definitely got a swagger about them, and they are not scared of the number 1 team coming in to visit.
Talk about your coaching staff here at North Newton.
My coaching staff, that took a little while. Not being in the building, but my JV coach, his name is Joe Reed, and I know that he's been to a few different places. I know he's been with Coach Chavez at Lowell. I know he's been at La Crosse as a JV coach. He's been a middle school boys coach in a couple of the Lake Central middle schools. And my varsity assistant is somebody who played at North Newton and then also played at Delphi. I think graduated from Delphi, Catherine Lang, now Catherine Messersmith. She's really young and she can still shoot the ball. She can still handle the ball, and I think that's pretty good to just kind of help our guards along. Pretty soon here, once we're done trying to put something together as far as a defense and offense, we'll be breaking things down more positionally, and I'll hang out with the bigs a little bit and let her do her thing with the guards. And but that's my coaching staff. It's just the 3 of us, which is I guess all we need right now with 13 kids. It's but that's my coaching staff.
What you're new to the Midwest Conference. What do you think of the conference?
I had said it before we got on the air. I mean, I'm going to be coaching in a lot of places this season that I've schools I've never been to before, teams I've never coached against. So huddle's going to be a big deal. Checking some teams out ahead of time because I'm used to people, used to teams, KV, North Newton, Rensselaers as far as we went,
right.
And everything else was. And at Calumet, I played teams that I had never played, the 21st Centuries and the Thea Bowmans and stuff. But I only have seen a little bit. I've only seen DeMont Christian. I've only seen Tri-County. And, I know that Coach Brian from North White, I look at their scores. I've never had a reason to play them. We've never played, but I know that he plays a controlled style. I know that they keep all the scores down, so I kind of have an idea what I'm in for when I go there. It's going to be they're just going to stifle us defensively, not going to let us score. It's kind of like the old Gollenbeck teams with Griffith. They were always top 5 in the state when it came to defensive rankings. So I'm sure that's what it's going to be. But, yeah, I'm going to be doing a lot of film study because, honestly, I just don't know a lot about these teams yet.
Yeah, Brian said he thought it was going to be wide open, didn't he? That's what
well,
he said, yeah.
I think he's right about that. I think that just from the looks of Tri-County and DeMont Christian, they look like they're going to be good. Last year's, Frontier looked like they were a really good team. And so North White, Tri-County, DeMont Christian, Frontier, I've heard that Faith is a really good team, that they've got a really good player, a really good young player. So, it sounds like it could be any of those teams.
Coach, you said you got your playing days were right across the street, huh?
Yeah, I ran track for St. Joe's for 4 years. My freshman year, I was talked into cross country. Coach Mossel's very first day, he's like, so you were a hurdler in high school, right? Yep, I was. And you ran cross country? Yep. All right, so you're a steeplechaser now. Oh. Well,
I could hear him saying that.
Yes,
too.
you can. And it was right outside that office right over there. And then, that was only 1 year, and then they brought somebody in to actually do it. And now I was shocked that my son's looking at colleges right now, and he says he wants to be a steeplechaser. I said, awesome. I never got a chance to teach either of my kids how to hurdle, and now I can teach him how to hurdle. So when we get to the spring.
Cool.
Just sad that place is closed now, isn't it?
You have no idea.
Yeah.
I mean, I was just reading the book that John Nichols wrote, and I'm only to the part where it's February 2nd, and I was there that night for the vigil. And I happened to be I flew out to Colorado the next day because my daughter threw for Wyoming, so they had a meet at Boulder. And this is a radio show, and I'm an adult. I was sitting in a brewery checking out what they had out in Boulder, and right about that time on Facebook is when we got the message. February 2nd, 2017.
Wasn't a good one, was
No, it wasn't. No. Not at all. But you can only hope. And I'm part of the Alumni Association, so we still put on the events, and we had a good one on campus this year. It's just great to be there. When you get the chance to get on campus, and I took a few laps. I ran on campus, and it feels like a ghost town, but it still feels like home.
Sure.
As crazy as that sounds.
Sure.
But it'll always be. So.
We loved doing games out there.
Yes.
For sure.
Yeah, I remember you guys being there all the time.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Are you ready? We didn't talk about your opener, did we? Or we did a little bit.
Well, we mentioned that it's going to be against KV. It's going to be at home tomorrow against KV.
You talk with Brandon a little bit here when you get off.
Yeah. And then we've got Lowell on Saturday. We go to Lowell on Saturday.
Just KV and Lowell to start off with, huh?
Yeah.
That's all?
Yeah. KV, Lowell, River Forest, Couts, Hanover, Benton Central, Lake Station are our first seven.
They didn't do you any favors, did they?
No.
We'll have to get on the AD about that.
But, hey, I mean, why not? You're going to have to play them at some point, and it's
right.
maybe going to speed up the learning curve.
Well, Chris, welcome back to the area, and welcome to the Coaches Show. We hope you're here every week on Wednesday, and then we're doing a lot of your games on live streams, so we're looking forward to that, and look forward to good to meet you, and good luck throughout the rest of the year, okay?
Nice to meet you guys. This is going to be great.
All right.
A lot of fun.
Chris York from the North Newton Lady Spartans, back with more The Coach's Cage right after this.
Hi, this is Chuck Clark with the Underwood Insurance Agency, formerly Preferred Insurance Group. Are you tired of being sacked every month with your auto insurance bill? Do you feel you just pay your premium to your agent and never hear from them? We at the Underwood Insurance Agency work with over 10 insurance carriers to get you our best rate and coverage we can, and we pride ourselves on serving our customers like they are our family. We are conveniently located in Remington and Lafayette. We can be reached at underwoodagency.com. Reach out to us to score big savings.
Meet you at Arnie's, Rensselaer's go-to pizza and so much more. Pizza, sandwiches, burgers are here. Don't forget about dessert. Wings, cheese sticks, garlic bread too. Arnie's pizza menu has something for everyone. Dine in or carry out in the best pizza in town. Located across from St. Joseph's College in Rensselaer. Call 219-866-9999 and meet you at Arnie's.
Pulver Psychological Services offers psychological counseling, consultation, and assessment. Locally owned and operated, Pulver Psych focuses on solutions for the community and serves as support for individuals, families, and organizations. Whether you're in need of personal, family, or success counseling, Pulver Psychological Services can help you reach your life goals, increase work satisfaction, have better relationship compatibility, improve sports performance. Get in touch with Pulver Psychological Services by visiting pulverpsych.com.
In agriculture, preparation is important. Dedication is you deciding what to plant and then asking what it will take for a good crop. How much work will it take to produce the final crop? In sports, preparation is vital in becoming the best you can be. Dedication is a will of achievements for a winning desire. Corbett Farms encourages everyone to do their best by having a winning spirit, attitude, and achievement. Your positivity will make a difference. Corbett Farms is proud to sponsor high school sports.
Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance Agent Joe Goodman has been serving the Jasper County and surrounding area since 2009. Being involved in the area, Joe Goodman has kept his interest in making sure he provides the best insurance for his clients. Whether you need life, car, home, business, farm and crops, or even renter's insurance, Agent Joe Goodman will keep searching for the best policy for your valued investments. Call Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance Agent Joe Goodman at 219-866-4694 or stop in at 2570 North McKinley Avenue in Rensselaer.
After a hard day's work or play, it's time for some relaxation, and there's no better place than Unwind on Front Street in Rensselaer. For massage therapy, facials, spray tanning, yoga classes, and wellness, stop by Unwind. They also offer student athletes 30-minute massages for $25. Alina would like to thank Unwind's loyal customers for their patronage since 2016. To make an appointment, call Unwind at 219-869-0290.
Well, it's that time of the evening.
How about that?
We finally got
We're behind on this.
Wait a minute. I'm supposed to text my wife and tell her I'm on.
Oh.
I forgot to do that.
Don't forget.
Go right ahead.
We're archived now. If she misses a minute or two, she can go back.
He goes back and watches it when he gets home.
No, I do not. Don't even start.
Wes Radke has joined us now. Rensselaer Central Lady Bombers. How many years? God, it seemed like 15, but
7 years.
7 years.
7 years.
Isn't like a 7-year itch? You got to scratch it. And that's usually what happens. Maybe that's what people feel like around here. I don't know.
Hey, you had a good year last year. Talk about that a little bit.
Last year was one of those special years where we ended up 17-7. When you look at those 7 losses, 5 of those losses came to our conference foes.
Check that out, Bill, for sure. Is he telling the truth?
I'm not lying. And then we lost to Harrison for us, but needless to say, I'm very proud of all that team at 17-7 and what they accomplished and what they set forth for us to do in the future. What's going to hold this year and continue to build on.
You lost all 5 starters too, didn't you?
Yeah, all 5. We had 6 seniors and 5 of them started at some point in time or the whole entire time, and that's a tough thing to fill when you got the all-time leading scorer in Jesse Ringen is now gone, and again a kid like Morgan Van Meter that was beside her, and they both played well, and Avery Kane, who ran the point for me and did a nice job, and Abby Ayler, and Kenzie Moore did some wonderful things for her height and size, and then a kid like Robin Philpott who just knew her role, and so when you lose that, you think, woe is me, but that's not the case. We are ready to roll this year, looking forward to, excited for what we're going to put on the floor each and every night, and look forward to what this year has to bring.
I know you do a lot in the summertime. What was the summer like for the Bombers?
So the summer we spent, doing a lot of, because we were going to have a young team. We were going to have some new faces and some new things we had to do. So we spent a lot of time doing some workouts and working together in the gym and just getting up and down. Then we took our trip to Wisconsin Dells and played in the tournament up there and did really well in that tournament and that shootout. And
didn't you break something up there? I remember. I seen a picture.
No, why do you have to bring up stuff that we don't need to talk about right now?
That picture was
Bob. There is no way that we're going to talk about that right now.
Okay. I just thought you want to clear things up. I just saw that.
You need to get him back on task.
That's his MO, you know.
Yeah.
He likes to.
Squirrel. He just starts talking about. But anyway, went up there and we had a really good time. Good team bonding and played some really good basketball and came back. Went to Indiana Wesleyan shootout. And had a good turnout there and won some games and played some really good basketball there as well.
Can you coach in the summertime?
Well, I think I'm qualified to.
No, I mean,
yeah.
So you coach your team, and those rules are all gone. Then.
Yeah, I can coach my team during that time because it's summer ball, and so we played against really good competition that Indiana Wesleyan shootout and handled ourselves well and. Came back, finished off just doing some more things, and let the girls go to their their fall sports, and had some still that stayed back and did some workouts with me during that limited contact period. So we got those in, and where we're at today.
5-0 start last year. Will you be able to do that with an inexperienced squad this year?
I hope so. We have. And we can talk more about that, but we have a lot of weapons that I don't think people realize that, we may have graduated a lot, but we have a lot of weapons and opportunity of a lot of young players that have played a lot of basketball, know the game, and can score at any moment, any time from anywhere on the floor. So, and they love to get after it on defense. So it's fun to watch them play.
Tell us about some of the key players then.
Well, when you look at our roster, you're going to see there's 14 players. We've got 14 players, and
that's lower than normal, right?
It's lower than normal. We would generally have around 20 or so, but this year we just got 14. We had them all summer, those 14, and those 14 are battle tested. Those 14 are, much like what Chris Meeks told you about the 20-some kids we have for football. I'd rather have those than have a gym full of kids that don't want to be there. And those 14 want to be in the gym with us. They want to do great things. So, returning back with the most varsity experience is going to be a junior in Sarah Kaufman, who has played for me now. That this will be her third year at a varsity level. She's going to do just about anything and everything I ask her to do, inside, outside, guard the big girl, physical. She's just a phenomenal athlete. She has a lot of upside to her, and I'm just going to continue to talk to her about having some confidence in that shot and knocking down that shot. But she's back for us. And then the other one with the most experience is Taylor Van Meter. And you guys saw what she's capable of doing last year as a freshman, coming off the bench with those seniors. And there was times that she actually had to pick up the pace for us when those seniors were struggling.
In a tournament game, she had a good game too, right?
And that was just scratching the surface of what she's able to do. I think she's one of those players that is under everybody's radar as far as not knowing much, but I'm telling you, this kid can do phenomenal things, and excited to be able to turn her loose and let her do the things that I know she's capable of doing this year, both offensively and defensively. She's 5'11". She's got long arms. She can run the floor. She's one of the fastest kids on the floor. She's got a knack for the basketball. She'll rebound. She'll pass the ball, distribute it well, and so she has a bright future ahead of her still here moving forward, and looking for some great things out of her this year. Then you go my two seniors, Macy Kellner and Lola Chanmis. Both of them are the only two seniors we have. Both of them saw some minutes here or there last year, and they're looking to continue their role as far as being that leadership and helping out and doing whatever we ask them to do during doing the dirty work. trying to get Lola's got the big body, and she's able to got the height to her to get in there and push some people around, and then also be able to step out and hit some shots. And Macy plays really hard and able to play a defense for us and shut some people down. So those two are looking for some great things. And then we have Cadence Mans that's coming back, split some time back and forth between JV and varsity last year. And this year so far, she's been a great surprise. Came in off of soccer in really good shape, and just really into what we're asking her to do, getting up and down the floor, distributing the basketball. She's probably going to be handling the ball a lot more than what she's ever thought about before, simply because we're still trying to find that point guard. And then next we have my daughter Bailey coming off the bench. Bailey's a junior as well, so her, Cadence, and Sarah are 3 juniors. Bailey's going to be one of those that's going to come in and she can knock down that outside shot, and when she gets on a roll, she's on a roll. So, we're looking for some great things out of her. And then you get to another sophomore in Carly Drone, which, if you guys remember last year in the sectional championship game there and a few other games during that sectional, I threw her in there as a freshman. And the kid, again, has a huge upside to her. She can catch on fire and knock down 5-6 threes on you or go in there and rebound. And we're trying to convince her to drive some more because she's, again, 5'11", long, has a great touch around the rim. So just trying to get her to do those things. And her and Taylor combined are quite the pair to have to deal with and handle. And then we have Jesse Fleming, who, again, last year played a lot of JV for me but was always that kid that I could throw in a varsity game to get a stop for me defensively, and just being able to step up and handle the pressure of things. Strong kid, man, in the weight room, and we'll talk about that in a little bit, but a strong kid in the weight room, wants to do what I ask her to do, and she'll be handling the point some as well. And so she does a really nice job. And then we get down to a few of these incoming freshmen that we have, and a few other players, but incoming freshmen like Cameron Rowland. There's a freshman right there, a gentleman that knows the game probably better than any freshman I've seen in a long time. The kid knows how to play. She's hard-nosed. She works hard. She's got great work ethic, and gives me everything she's got. This summer, she was out. She had to have surgery on her ankle. She had a piece of bone chip floating around in her ankle, and so we had a conversation, and we thought that would be the best time to do that is during the summertime when, to heal and be ready for what's going on right now. And so she did that, and all summer long she was right there with the girls, cheering them on, learning the system, and so I'm looking for some really great things out of her.
She 100% now?
Yes, she's 100% now. Going to play some point for us and going to handle the point. And that's a lot of responsibility that I put on these girls that I've mentioned as running the point. But her as a freshman, putting that kind of stress and demand on her is something I think she wants and desires. And I think she's excited for. So I'm looking for some really great things, and again, I think she's somebody that people are not going to realize how good she really is until after it's over and they realize, oh, that kid can play. My youngest, the last one, there's 4 Radke girls. This is the last one, and Brody. Brody is going to be a freshman. She's about 5'8", big, strong kid, plays inside, outside. She's going to have to learn, her role now as far as, when her and Cameron were in 8th grade, they kind of ran the show, and now they just got to learn the new role they have and what they have to do, and she's going to do just about anything and everything, inside, outside, that I ask her to do, go in and guard the big girls and rebound, and she can handle the basketball for a big kid, and she can step outside, knock down the 3 as well. She is playing injured. She has a partially torn ligament in her big toe that there's no healing for unless she stops playing, and that's not an option. She doesn't want to do that, so she's playing through some pain, and she goes to practice every day and puts out that effort. So, but she's going to do some really great things for us. And then we have a Liberty Bate, who's a sophomore that's played with us for a while. She's going to continue to be with us and continue to do some great things. And then Camby Davis, another freshman that is going to see some time, both JV and maybe some time at varsity, just because of her speed and athleticism. She's going to do some good things for us. And the last one is Addison Veldman, a kid that's going to play some inside ball in the JV and just a great player, does some good things and continue to improve throughout the year.
So how do you split the varsity JV with only 14?
Well, here's the deal with that. And somebody asked me that same question. When I was at Oregon Davis and we won the state title that year in 2014, we only had about 14, 12 girls that played then. And some of those girls that started varsity games, well, you get 5 quarters a night, and some of those starters would play 1 quarter. And you have to be creative in how you do that and how that works. So there's going to be some of those girls that play varsity minutes that's going to have to play some JV. And guess what? We're there to play ball anyway. Might as well use them and play them and get as much out of it as you can. And it's not going to hurt anybody. It's going to make you have that time to play and where there's always room for improvement. And so we're going to take full advantage of things and each night could be something different. So we'll just have to see.
These girls all bought into the Lady Bomber defense style
well,
ball.
We're going to find out tomorrow night, but over the summer, yeah, it was good. It was nice to see some things and see what we're able to do. We're pretty fast at times, and then other times we got to pick up the pace a little bit more. So it just depends on who's out on the floor and what we're doing. But they are buying into what we know and what we do, and they sometimes I have to say, hey, pull it back here a little bit, and it's a proud moment as a coach when you can see that they're buying into what you want to get done.
I'm impressed how you can remember them all.
There's only 14.
Man.
There's only 14, and don't say that because I might have forgot somebody. I am getting a little old. Not as old as Bob Kurtz, but
that's true. I'm not as old as Bill Kage. So
well,
there you go. So is it going to take a while to learn the rotations, or have you got the good mix, or do you know who's going to start and who's going to come in, or how do you
it's going to take a little while still because we are a young team still and transitioning to who's doing what and where we're at, and we're in kind of that honeymoon state where everybody's trying to fill everybody out, and coach, I have a good idea of what I want to do, but that doesn't always work out. And so sometimes it just takes a little while, and that's where patience comes in. Yet Western, yeah.
Just some
common opponents that we see already.
So what are your goals or expectations this year?
To finish higher in the conference on our side. It seems like we're always, like I said last year, 5 of our losses were our conference, and we were down the bottom of the conference, and we were a really good team. So to try to finish up in the hierarchy of the conference is our number one thing. And then second of all is to win games. We need to win games. Winning creates more confidence, and we want to win games. And obviously the big prize is going over to BC this year and trying to win that sectional because that is the goal we have, and there's no other way around it. And that's just how we have that mindset from the start. Is that's what we're looking for. And I think after last season and what happened, those girls were on the floor. Some of them didn't like what happened, and those freshmen that were sitting in the stands didn't like what happened. So we're going to try to change that outcome this year.
You start out on the schedule with a bang, 4 games within a week's amount of time.
Yeah, it seems like we're very heavy loaded up on the top of the schedule, and it kind of slows down a little bit towards the end. But yeah, we're going to hit the ground running. West Central tomorrow night, and then Judson on Saturday, and then we come back and Hanover Central, and then Tri-County, and then Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday in that time slot. So with a young team, that could be a good thing and that could be a bad thing. and we're going to find out how we respond to that adversity and the limited amount of time of scouting and watching film, be able to break down things for the girls and get them prepared for that, because that's something just as important in a young team is getting them prepared for what they're about to face.
Last year's bunch got you off to a 5-0 start. We're going to hold you to that standard, aren't we, Bob?
That's right.
I wouldn't expect anything less than to do that.
So we'll have tomorrow night's game right here on 3KG the Kage. So you can, and that's a varsity game only, right?
As a varsity game only, West Central doesn't have a JV team, so that's going to be, I believe I told you 6 o'clock
6
start.
o'clock, yeah.
Yeah, 6 o'clock start.
6 o'clock.
Yeah, Joe Burvam Gymnasium. And
what do you know about West Central?
Tyson's going to have them. Tyson Mellon's their coach. He's going to have them really, really up and ready to play. They brought back the Bishop girl who handles the ball for him. She's a very talented athlete. Plays softball. Plays a lot of different sports, and so she's going to be their number one ball handler and their threat. And they also have Annika Smith, who broke their school record for rebounds and things last year in the season. So
yeah, they didn't have a senior last year.
No, yeah. So I think they had made a foreign exchange student or something. But he returns a young group as well, but they're going to play hard. They're probably going to play some zone against us, so we have to be patient in what we're going to do. We can't rush shots and just start jacking things up, which is something we've been talking to the girls about, and take what they give us, and he's just going to have them very tuned up to the way and style in which we play, and I'm sure he's going to try to slow it down on us and to get us in foul trouble, which we have a tendency to do early on because we don't know how to control ourselves at times, especially when we're going full court for almost the whole entire game. So it's going to be a fun game. Good to get a chance to, we scrimmaged last week, last Tuesday or Tuesday before. And so it's been a while since we've played against somebody else besides ourselves. So I think the girls are ready to do that and tired of doing my drills and what we do every day.
Now, I know sometimes, Wes, especially in girls basketball, they have hesitation to shoot the ball. Is that something you try and work on every day?
My team doesn't hesitate to shoot the ball.
They don't.
No. Sometimes we wish they would a little bit. But at least not in the past couple practices. Coach Van Meter looks at me and I look at him. We're like, "Phew, it's one pass and it's up," and that's not good. Now, if you're hitting, then yeah, you make the coach look good. But if you're not hitting and you're just chucking shots up, that could be in for a long night. So that's something that we try to work on with the girls to be. And I'm not saying I tell girls they have a red light and a green light. If you're feeling it, you're feeling it. But you have to start to understand the game and what's going to happen if you keep doing that and they keep going down and scoring. Before you know it, you're down 6-0, and you've shot more shots than they have. And because you're not getting the right shot, you're going to end up digging yourself a hole. So that's something we preach and talk and try to convince them not to do.
Coaching staff still the same?
Yeah. Well, it's went from what we used to have to a smaller bench now because Coach Eric Van Meter is still going to be my JV and assistant coach, and Amanda Mans is still going to be my assistant. But all the other girls that were there between Sydney, Brooklyn, and Bianca have all grown up and got new jobs. Something about jobs. And Dad, we can't make it no more in school, and very proud of those three young women. Brooklyn's an engineer now, and Bianca's working in healthcare, and Sydney's finishing up her degree at Purdue, and so the three of them contributed a ton to the program, and did a lot of great things for me. But they had to grow up and get jobs, and they told me they would still be there to root us on. So I expect them to be there tomorrow night, but we'll see how things go as far as the coaching staff. We are what we are, and I was reading a book today. It says that you keep those you trust around you really close, and the two have been around me since day one, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And so I trust those two, and they bring so much to the table, and so I'm very appreciative of those two sticking with me again.
Wes, look forward to doing some games this year on 3KG, and look forward to coming every week and We'll see you tomorrow night, all right?
All right. And, Bill, are you coming tomorrow night?
I'll be there.
All right.
I'll be
Make
there.
sure that he doesn't say anything rude about me.
I'll do my best.
Because I might talk my wife into making you guys something, but if he's going to talk rude about me.
Well, you know about that thing about keeping those that you trust. I haven't been able to do that.
But they said to keep the devil closer, so maybe maybe the enemy. Is that the devil?
Are you finished? Wes, good to see you.
All right, it was good to see you, fellas.
Thanks,
have a good one.
Wes Radke from the Rensselaer Center Lady Bombers, back with more of the Coach's Cage right after this.
Personalized dental service is what they do at Hillcrest Dental. For over 40 years, generations have relied on Hillcrest Dental for beautiful, healthy smiles. Dr. John Ayler and Dr. Jack Drone look forward to seeing you for your next dental visit. For information or to set your appointment, call 219-866-7117. That's 219-866-7117. Or visit hillcrestdental.net. Hillcrest Dental is a proud sponsor of all high school athletics. Pulver Psychological Services offers psychological counseling, consultation, and assessment. Locally owned and operated, Pulver Psych focuses on solutions for the community and serves as support for individuals, families, and organizations. Whether you're in need of personal, family, or success counseling, Pulver Psychological Services can help you reach your life goals. Increase satisfaction, have better relationship compatibility, improve sports performance. Get in touch with Pulver Psychological Services by visiting pulverpsych.com.
Working with our customers has been Kentland Bank's trademark for 87 years. We're dedicated to making your visit a lasting one, and helping you achieve your goals is our #1 priority. With 5 locations, Kentland Bank offers all loans needed for today's businesses and families, including car loans, mortgages, agriculture, and commercial loans. We're here to make your busy life less hectic by offering online and mobile banking, bill pay, and P2P payments. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
High-quality personalized dental service is what they do at Hillcrest Dental. For over 40 years, generations have relied on Hillcrest Dental for beautiful, healthy smiles. Dr. John Ayler and Dr. Jack Drone look forward to seeing you for your next dental visit. For information or to set your appointment, call 219-866-7117. That's 219-866-7117. Or visit hillcrestdental.net. Hillcrest Dental is a proud sponsor of all high school athletics.
Meet you at Arnie's, Rensselaer's go-to pizza and so much more. Pizza, sandwiches, burgers are here. Don't forget about dessert. Wings, cheese sticks, garlic bread too. Arnie's pizza menu has something for everyone. Dine in or carry out in the best pizza in town. Located across from St. Joseph's College in Rensselaer. Call 219-866-9999 and meet you at Arnie's.
Founded in 1931, Community State Bank in Brook is your community bank. We specialize in relationship banking while offering the technology required to meet your modern banking needs. Community State Bank is the area leader in new construction loans and home mortgages. Our lenders know small business and have products to meet your farm and business needs. We're available to get to know you and your needs today at 224 West Main in Brook or by calling 219-275-2441.
Pulver Psychological Services offers psychological counseling, consultation, and assessment. Locally owned and operated, Pulver Psych focuses on solutions for the community and serves as support for individuals, families, and organizations. Whether you're in need of personal, family, or success counseling, Pulver Psychological Services can help you reach your life goals. Increase work satisfaction, have better relationship compatibility, improve sports performance. Get in touch with Pulver Psychological Services by visiting pulverpsych.com.
Back on the Coach's Cage on 3KG, thecage.com. Bill K across the way from me. I'm Bob Kurtz, and Scotty Miller, of course, handling the board like always, doing a great job back there. And tomorrow night, season opener on 3KG. We'll be at Rensselaer Central as the Lady Bombers host West Central. Varsity only game tomorrow night, so we'll be on the air at 5:45 with a 6 o'clock tip-off. Going to talk a little Kankakee Valley girls basketball with Brandon Bradley, the coach of the Lady Cougars. into his second year. Brandon, good to see you again. How you been?
Good. How are you guys been?
Doing really well. Well, before we talk about this year, you had a pretty good first year as a Lady Cougar coach. 16 and what was it, Billy?
16 and 10, yeah.
16 and 10. Tell us about that.
Not having a summer and much of a fall last year, we spent the first half of the season really getting to know each other, and something that we really concentrated on, in the spring and summer was just more of a comfort level of making basketball plays within what we do, not just being robots within what we do. And, you could see that more once we got – I think the holiday tournament last year was really big for us because while we lost the first game to North White, we turned around and beat a good Rochester team, beat a good Pioneer team. And from that point on, I felt like the girls were much more relaxed, much more bought in with everything. The problem was we dealt with so much with regards to illnesses, contact tracing, injuries, you name it. We played at Munster on their senior night without 3 starters, and still managed to get out of there with a win somehow. Had to play Andrean for the championship without 2 starters. And so it was just something that it felt like every night there was something that we had to overcome other than just our opponent. But no excuses. Kids played hard. They battled. They competed. Really excited because, they got better. They got better cognitively as well as physically and skillfully. And it's really neat to see because now in practices we can have more of what I would call an adult conversation from the standpoint of they're asking real questions about, hey, I see this, what about this? And they're recognizing things on their own and making adjustments on their own and communicating with each other. And that's really fun. But that could also be a product of having 5 seniors and 8 juniors.
That's your squad this year?
5 seniors, 8 juniors, and a sophomore. Probably from those 14, we'll dress 12 every night. They're
Did a lot of them have a lot of playing time or no?
We have 8 letter winners returning.
Oh, man.
So, we
Experienced
graduated
group.
Taylor Schoonveld and Marissa Howard. They were our 2 seniors last year. But all 5 seniors played and lettered, and they're ball players. Sometimes you get a class that big as seniors and you have a kid that's on the team because they're a great kid and, they've always hustled and they love the game and they're friends with everybody. And we don't have those kids right now. We've got kids that can play. And even in our junior class, like I said, 5 seniors. Again, though, we're dealing with a lot of illness and injury, some not necessarily serious injuries, but just, little scratches and stuff here and there and ankles and knees and just soreness. So.
Take us through some of your key players.
Well, our top 2 scorers from last year return, and that's Kate Thomas, our point guard, and Lily Toppin, our shooter, both seniors. Kate obviously has a big deal coming up on Saturday. She's been invited to kind of the all-state soccer game, with the best girls from around the state. I don't know where she finished, somewhere around, I think like high 20s as far as goals went this year.
Really? Wow.
But at one stretch, I know she had 21 through like the first 8 or 9 games.
Pretty good soccer player then.
Yes, very talented on the soccer field. Lily has come she was already a very good basketball player when I met her a year ago, and the work that she puts in, she wants to play at that next level, and she has opportunities to play at that next level. And so she will not let anything get in the way of that. And she asks questions about how to prepare for that level in addition to helping our team. And she, over the years of coaching, this is my 27th year, and she's been one of the most enjoyable kids to coach because of her ability to just absorb things like a sponge, and she does a really nice job of taking it all in, filtering it, and then, putting it to work, and where she struggles, she works on it, and it's really neat that other people are seeing it now outside of our program. I've had a couple of college coaches tell me how much different she looks because of all the work she's put in.
Good bloodlines there.
Yeah,
probably talks to her sisters and
absolutely.
Dad and everybody about.
Oh yeah, she's got a lot of support at home, which is great. And once you get past those 2, Jenna Hayes is a 6'2" junior post that started every game for us last year. She looks taller, stronger, great hands, doing a lot of really good stuff around the rim. Also showing a little bit of range this year, shooting it. Abby Grandchamp is a 5'11" senior. She's the one that unfortunately injured her knee right before Christmas, and so we missed 15 games out of her. And she's long and wiry and bouncy and brings a ton of energy, and that energy was noticed. I mean, in the 15 games she missed, we were 7-8, and so there's value there that you don't put on just stats,
Sure.
Lainey Capillari started several games last year, and is a really good kind of if you call her a 3 guard or a small forward. She has improved her ball skill. Her shooting has really improved quite a bit this year too. And she's a very nice athlete that has done some soccer in the past, has done track, and is very good on the track. Faith Mauger is our 5th senior then. And Faith 6'1", she played off the bench mostly last year, started a couple games. She kind of has a 4-5 role. She can plug in at the 4 if we need her to, and we can play bigger. She can back up Jenna, and we can play a little bit smaller and quicker. But she had a really nice volleyball season too. Very nice athlete at her size.
Will you ever have the 6'2", 6'3" girls in the same time or not?
We'll see. We've been toying with it. The 6'3" girl you mentioned is Ava Day. She's a sophomore. Again, she's grown and gotten stronger since last year. And her hands have improved quite a bit. She's finishing much better around the basket, really getting out and running in transition well. Juliet Starr is another junior who led her last year, our backup point guard, and just does a nice job with game management, that kind of stuff. Olivia Plummer also led her. She was one that when we went through our injuries late in the year, especially when Taylor went down with her ankle for a few games, Olivia stepped right in. She ended up playing, I think, if I'm correct, she played 11 games. And in those 11 games, she finished as our 3rd leading offensive rebounder in total offensive rebounds. And she's 5'7". So she just has a real knack for finding those creases, getting in there, and then being, outworking the other girl on the other team and coming up with those offensive rebounds, giving us second chances. But again, we've got, I'm going to miss people, and I don't want to, but we've got other juniors now. Abby Wallstra, Brooke Swart, Maddie Murray, that are all very skilled wing guards. They can shoot, they can handle, they can defend, they can run and jump. Then even like a Sydney Rose is another junior forward that's nice athlete, has some skill. She missed parts of last year with some foot stuff. Sarah Bedron is a little guard that's a junior that does a really nice job of taking care of the ball, making shots. I don't think I need to look at this, but
don't need to
because you're making me.
So I want to make sure you get everybody in there.
Yeah, no, we got them all.
Okay,
we hit them all. So
I was gonna say, it sounds like you're doing a good job, man. You're gonna rival Coach Radke.
Didn't want you to miss anybody.
Nope. But again, if you guys, and you saw portions of our JV games last year, our JV team was 17-3. And I think the 3 losses were to an undefeated Lake Central, an undefeated Benton Central, and maybe a 2-loss Crown Point. And all 3 games were single digits. And I think 2 of the 3, we might have had the ball into a minute with down 5 or something, So that's, we're looking at a really nice stretch here last year, this year, next year, with all those same kids at the core of it all. And, we're excited. We've got work to do. And we've got, especially being a 4A team now.
So your expectation is pretty high then?
Our expectations are what we talk about in our locker room. We never put a win total on a season. We never tell them that we have to beat this team or this or that. It's, our success is a byproduct of our work in practice and the things that we prepare for. So do we want to win them all? Absolutely. And we've even thrown the if you will, Chesterton boys comparison at them this year about how, you look at that team last year, they weren't expected to win their sectional. They made it to the state finals before they lost a game, and their best player is at an NAIA school right now. So it's not like they were loaded with, mid and high major Division I kids. And I feel like the team we've got this year, like I said, those 14 kids, I mean, they're fairly interchangeable, and we're going to kind of be that sum of our parts type of team. And, we will have the 2 or 3 regulars that, always get shots, always, put up decent numbers. But we're also going to have those 3 or 4 kids that you're not going to know where that next person's coming from. And that flexibility, and, it's really, really tough to find 14 kids all having an off night at the same time.
That'd be disastrous, wouldn't it?
I say that, and, you put your hand, your faith in the hands of teenagers.
Right.
Doesn't always work out that way.
Right.
So.
Tell us about your opener.
Well, we play North Newton tomorrow night at North Newton, varsity only, so it'll be at 6 o'clock. We played them a year ago. I know they suffered significant graduation losses, but they still have a 6'2" junior coming back, and we're going to have to do what we can to kind of contain her because of all the kids that graduated. She was still their leading scorer, and I believe either leading or second leading rebounder as well. So she's got some ability inside. The nice thing that we do have is size. So, we will be able to match her not with one person but with 3. And if we can limit her quite a bit, that's going to be our goal in the half court defensively. And offensively, we want to, use our experience. And so while we may not be faster than everybody on our schedule individually, we would like to, with 5 seniors and 8 juniors, I think as a team with discipline, we can play faster because we have that experience. We have that understanding of each other. Second year with me, second year, that group together, there's a lot more of a natural comfort with them. And you could see that Saturday in our scrimmage. The first quarter, you saw the nerves, you saw deflected passes, you saw, shots that were just a little off. And then the second, third, and fourth quarters that we played were just – everybody was like they just took a breath and settled down. And, like Coach Sampson, our assistant, said, man, you guys look like you were just comfortable playing basketball, having fun, and that's what we were trying to get to because last year I felt there was a lot of real robotic, trying not to mess up, trying to do everything right, learning something new. And while we've learned new things this year, we've done it mixed with a lot of familiarity too. So.
How's it with you now? Are you a lot more comfortable being your second year?
Oh, absolutely. I feel as much like myself as I probably have in 5 or 6 years, honestly. And they make that easy, because like I said, we're able to converse in such a way that it's very direct. It's to the point. They're not sensitive about it. Hey, we need to fix this, or you did this great, or, and it's not that either of them, positive or negative, is overblown one way or the other. And like if you've ever coached, it feels like every time you compliment a kid, they mess that same thing up the next time, or vice versa. You say the wrong thing, and all of a sudden it's just sensitive, and they're really good about asking questions and respecting authority, and we rarely have to get loud or have any kind of consequential running or push-ups or anything like that because they get it. They want to be great, but now they're showing us by doing it every day in practice and not, we'll find out when we play real games, but at least from a practice standpoint, it's not a going through the motions type of thing. So,
you talked about North Newton, and then after that, Crown Point and Valparaiso. Of course, I'm looking, and they're in your sectional too.
Yes, they are now. So, one game at a time. We come whenever we get off the court tomorrow night, then our focus will turn to Crown Point. They are a program. People talk all the time about, well, they graduated this and they graduated that. I don't care. They've got a coach that has been there several years. They're part of a system. They're comfortable in their own skin. They're playing at home. They've already had a game they played last night, so they got those nerves out of the way too. And we're gonna have a dogfight. We're the biggest thing for us with that is not to look at them as the favorite. And not to look at ourselves necessarily as a favorite, but we need to go in there like we're equals, like we can play with them.
Think you can win.
Yeah, absolutely, and not be defeated when we get off the bus.
Right.
And as long as we can win that mental battle, we're going to have a tough game Saturday. And then Tuesday night, I mean, Valpo, she graduated 3 key starters, but she also welcomes a Division I freshman that's already got multiple offers. And so, that's a whole different monster because they're the way they play defensively is unique on our schedule and something that we're going to have to prepare specifically for and only get Monday to do that. So the good thing, though, is this year as opposed to last year, I know my opponent much better than I did, so I feel more comfortable from that standpoint as far as the preparation part goes. And, we can do some things in practice maybe we didn't do a year ago just from that standpoint.
Give us a little preview of the Northwest Crossroads Conference this year.
Well, until anybody beats them, I mean, Andrean's going to be the team to beat. So we've got to figure out a way how to beat those guys. I mean, they're good, they're solid, they're well coached. From there, I mean, there's a lot of opportunity for different people. I mean, Highland graduated their big kid, but they bring back some really good guards. They got a transfer guard from Lake Central who will help them. They're going to probably play fast because of it. Hobart's got maybe the best, most talented kid in the conference who just committed to Indiana State a couple weeks ago. She was a junior all-star this year. I mean, Munster's always solid. It's just Lowell, I mean, is in there too, and I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody in there as well. But, I mean, you got to prepare for every single game. Every game is tough. And but again, until anybody beats them, Andrean's at the top, and that's who, somebody's got to beat in order for somebody else to win that conference.
Well, Brandon, it's been a pleasure to talk with you. I hope we can do this every week and talk a little KV basketball. I know we're going to do several of your games on the live stream, so look forward to that.
November 15th is the first one, Valpo.
Okay.
Have a good year, okay?
I appreciate it.
All right. Brandon
Thanks,
Bradley from the Kankakee Valley Cougars, ready to wrap things up on the Coach's Cage right after this.
7 years. We're dedicated to making your visit a lasting one, and helping you achieve your goals is our #1 priority. With 5 locations, Kentland Bank offers all loans needed for today's businesses and families, including car loans, mortgages, agriculture, and commercial loans. We're here to make your busy life less hectic by offering online and mobile banking, bill pay, and P2P payments. Member FDIC and equal housing lender. After a hard day's work or play, it's time for some relaxation, and there's no better place than Unwind on Front Street in Rensselaer. For massage therapy, facials, spray tanning, yoga classes, and wellness, stop by Unwind. They also offer student athletes 30-minute massages for $25. Alina would like to thank Unwind's loyal customers for their patronage since 2016. To make an appointment, call Unwind at 219-869-0290.
Well, it's going to be an interesting year in girls basketball, isn't it, Billy Boy?
Oh, it sure sounds like it. I'm very anxious to get started tomorrow night right here on 3KG, and just looking for it. It's always this and when you wrap it up at sectional time, it's like the 2 best times of the year for me anyways. Just a lot of anticipation and seeing what these teams can do, how they all, play together and just, see them get their own identity. And I think we're going to have some interesting teams in our area.
Should be. So it'll be West Central at Rensselaer Central tomorrow night. My daughter Alex and you and I will be there to kick things off. So and that's a varsity-only game. 6 o'clock Rensselaer time, Central time start. On the air 5:45 or so with the pregame show, and let's get us started. And good luck to Mark Hall and the West Central Trojans. What a spectacular year they're having.
Got a tough chore ahead of them Friday, but geez, oh Pete, why not?
Hey, they're 10-1 too. I mean,
that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
And they play the same team, so just about. So we'll see. All right, see you tomorrow night, Billy.
All right, Bob, looking forward to it.
Thank all the sponsors for making the broadcast possible, and Beth and the gang here at Arnie's doing a wonderful job. And Scotty Miller did a great job there. For Scotty and Bill Kay, this is Bob Kurtz. So long, everybody.
The proceeding was a presentation of 3KG Community Broadcasting.